I'm Wayne Smith, and the Mayor of Texarkana, Arkansas, and I'd like to share with you a message for Veterans Day. On Friday, November 11th, our community will observe Veterans Day. As we prepare for this Friday, I'm asking the citizens of Texarkana, Arkansas to not just treat this as a 3-day weekend, but remember it's a day designated to honor all who served their country when called. Unlike Memorial Day, which is dedicated to remembering those who lost their lives in the service of their country, Veterans Day is a day to honor all American veterans of all wars, whether they're living or deceased. I am asking each one of you to seek out a current or past individual who is or has served in our military service and thank him or her for their dedicated and loyal service to our country. Allow me to take a few moments to provide some historical data concerning Veterans Day. Veterans Day is the anniversary of the signing of the armistice, which ended World War I. On November the 11th, 1918, an armistice between Germany and the Allied nations came into effect. On November the 11th, 1999, Armistice Day was commemorated for the first time. In 1926, the United States Congress officially recognized the end of World War I and declared that the armistice anniversary should be celebrated with prayer and thanksgiving. Congress requested the President to issue a proclamation calling upon the officials to display the flag of the United States on all government buildings on November the 11th. On May the 13th, 1938, Congress made November the 11th in each year as a legal holiday known as Armistice Day. Initially, the day was intended to honor veterans of World War I. World War II and the Korean War created a large influx of military veterans, which caused veteran service organizations to urge Congress to change the word armistice to Veterans Day. On June the 1st, 1954, Congress approved the change, and November the 11th became Veterans Day to honor all American veterans wherever and whenever they had served. November the 11th, 1954 was the first Veterans Day. In 1971, Veterans Day observation was moved to the fourth Monday in October of each year. Disagreeing with this change, many states continued to observe Veterans Day on November the 11th. In 1975, President Gerald R. Ford signed Public Law 9497, which moved the observance of Veterans Day to November the 11th, beginning in 1978 onward. On this Veterans Day, let us make sure we honor and thank all military personnel who served the United States in all wars, and particularly living veterans. No one war or military action our country has asked its citizens to leave their family and friends for should be considered nobler than others. From World War I to our current global war on terror, America's men and women have been drafted or volunteered into service to answer a call to duty. Since I am a Vietnam veteran, I ask your permission to allow me to speak about some aspects of that conflict. Most Vietnam veterans came of age for military service during the 60s. We are now in our 60s. At the age of 18, I entered the United States Army in 1967 at Fort Polk, Louisiana. After serving a short tour of duty in Germany, I arrived in Vietnam in April 1969. In April 1970, with the grace of God, I returned to the United States and did not become one of the 58,267 names on the Vietnam Memorial Wall who did not return to their family and friends. I saw less combat than some and more than others. I am proud of my service in Vietnam and of the recognition received for that service. I proudly display my Vietnam Service Medal with 3 Bronze Service Stars, the Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Cross with Palm Unit Citation, and Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal in my office at City Hall. Though the Vietnam War may have been during a controversial period in American history, American citizens at that time did what their forefathers did and what their children have done since then. We came when called. A review of the Vietnam Memorial Wall reveals some interesting facts concerning those who lost their lives during that war. President George Bush made the comment, "Carved on these walls is the story of America, of a continuing quest to preserve both democracy and decency and to protect a national treasure that we call the American dream." During the Vietnam era, 3 sets of fathers and sons lost their lives in Vietnam. Most personnel killed in the Vietnam War were young men just beginning their adult life. 8,283 were 19 years old. 33,103 were 18 years old. 12 were 17 years old. 5 were 16 years old. 1 was only 15 years old. The oldest person to be killed was a 63-year-old. More than 17,000 of those killed were married. 997 were killed on the first day in Vietnam. 1,448 were killed on their last day in Vietnam. 31 sets of parents lost 2 of their sons during the Vietnam War. 54 soldiers who attended Thomas Edison High School in Philadelphia lost their lives in Vietnam. The state to lose the highest number of its citizens as a result of the Vietnam War was West Virginia at 711. On January 31st, 1968, the date for the most casualty deaths in a single day was 245. The most casualty deaths for a single month was May 1968 with 2,415. The Vietnam veterans received a lukewarm welcome upon returning from home from their service. However, most remained proud of their service and the role of the United States in the Vietnam War. Despite the myth that Vietnam veterans being chronically impaired and being stereotyped concerning drugs and alcohol, most of us married, most of us found jobs, and we've successfully reintegrated back into American society. Many became successful businessmen, and some of us even became politicians. This upcoming Veterans Day is unique. We will celebrate it on 11/11/11. I encourage everyone to celebrate the holiday as it was intended. Thank those veterans who survived their tours of duty. Seek out families of those whose loved ones did not return and express your appreciation for their loved ones' sacrifice. And honor those who have passed away after returning from a hostile environment. Remember, there are no noble wars, just noble warriors. God, thank you.